I'm Connor Northern. I'm joined by Bellator featherweight John De Jesus, who is here to take on Vladyslav Parubchenko at Bellator 244 this Friday, August 21st. What's up, John? How you doing?
What's going on? Pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever had anybody do the kind of the shadow boxing while I was doing the intro, so I appreciate that.
Right, right. Always zone.
Oh, one thing I want to talk to you about too, kind of right off the bat. And I know we're kind of talking about you were talking about like Pittsburgh before we kind of start recording, but I mean, I feel like this is obviously a big opportunity for you, and I think it's been obviously a lot's going on with COVID and everything, but to be a Pittsburgh fighter right now seems like it's pretty good. Nick Brown just got a big win, LFA. Common Worthy just got another fight after just having a big win over Luis Pena. I mean, do you agree? Is this a good time to be a Pittsburgh fighter?
100%. We got a Pittsburgh wave coming soon, real soon. Everybody's gonna see what Pittsburgh MMA is all about real soon here.
For sure. And now I know you're with Pittsburgh Academy. Is that who you've been with like since the beginning, since day one?
No, I'm actually originally from Hollywood, Florida. I trained at American Top Team down there. I also trained with Black Zillions down there, and I came here about 5, 6 years ago and saw what was called Pittsburgh Fight Club at the time. Now it's the Academy.
Yeah. What kind of led you to make that change?
My wife wanted to be closer to family, and I was all for a change of scenery and something different, so I was all good with it. And as soon as we came up here, my game just went through the roof.
Yeah. One thing I'm just like curious too is like obviously like American Top Team there you're sparring with like a lot of top guys, a lot of numbers there too. But as far as like going to just like maybe like some smaller gyms and things like that, like is that almost like better in some senses for some guys just because like maybe there is like a little more like individual attention than you would get at some of those bigger gyms?
100%. If you go to Coconut Creek and you're not a UFC fighter or a Bellator fighter already, it's gonna be kind of hard to get some attention down there. When you come up here and you got your one-on-ones with my MMA coach David Sack and my boxing coach Christopher Williams, I get them one-on-one, 2, 3 times a week. So it's good. It's good for my career.
Yeah, for sure. And you just said too, like if you're not a Bellator, not UFC guy, now you are a Bellator fighter, and I know you've kind of fought for a lot of well-known regional promotions, LFA, CFFC, Ring of Combat. But what's it like too? I mean, this has to be the biggest stage of your career.
It is, man. It's been 11 years in the making. I'm finally making moves. Finally, gonna show the world what I'm really about.
Yeah. And now, was this supposed to happen maybe like a little earlier too? Because I saw on your Twitter account that you were kind of talking about that Mike Hamill fight and with Adam Borix too. Was there any talks about you fighting Borix?
Yeah, they offered me to fight Adam Boric 2 weeks ago at their last Bellator event, and apparently he didn't pick me. So it is what it is. I'm here now, and people are either gonna be mad at me or with me once I start calling out some names here soon.
Yeah. How'd you take that too? Just like the initial part of it.
I was stoked. I was excited. I had just finished training that night, and I got the text message from my manager Sean, and I was ready to go. I was like, yes. That same night, I said yes, and I guess I wasn't the chosen one. He wanted something easier.
Yeah. Do you take that like personally?
Not personally. I understand. And my name, I didn't have a big enough name for him. He was just in the featherweight tournament last year, this, that, and the third. But it is what it is. I'm here now. We're gonna fight.
Yeah. I felt like too in that fight with Hamilton, they're really pushing the fact that both those guys were from the same two gyms as the main events. Like I thought that was like an easy way for them to kind of help keep promoting that main event as well. But for you too, coming off back to back second round finishes too, what's kind of led to those? Anything different that's been clicking, or is it just kind of just the time in the gym?
Fact that I just turned 30 and I got that grown man strength. I'm touching people now and people are falling. My 11 years of experience is all coming together, all coming together at the right time.
For sure. And just looking at your last two opponents too, I think they had very similar records. I think combined they were probably like 10-7 at the time you fought them. But how big of a step up is Parubchenko? I think he's 16-1.
Yeah, he's the biggest name, best record I've fought so far. But I looked into his record. He's fought, nobody's over where he's from, so he's gonna be real shocked when I come in that cage and I don't take a step back and I'm just coming down his throat.
For sure. And obviously, 12-8, but with like 8 losses, do you feel like maybe sometimes you're maybe a little overlooked too? Because you look at your record too. I know you fought Buenafuente, Algio, Sabatini. These are all guys that are pretty like high prospects, at least in the Northeast area. And I saw you also fought Danny Chavez too, who just made his UFC debut on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, you can sleep on me all you want. People who train with me day in and day out, they know what I'm about and they know what I'm about to bring. So
yeah,
it is what it is, like Max Holloway would say.
there you go. Yeah, I think Daniel Cormier just said that the same saying too in his. I think he posted on Instagram or Twitter today his kind of retirement speech. But for you too, I mean, I think like just looking at this. This has to be a classic, striker versus grappler bout, is it not?
It is, and you could think of it that way, but I got wrestling in the game. I got jiu-jitsu in the game too, but for the most part, I'm looking to beat this dude's brain in.
Yeah. Do you see this fight going to the ground?
If it does, I'm getting right back up. It's not staying down there. I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to finish him.
Yeah. And, I know you talked about him a little bit and kind of the guys that he fought, but overall, just what's your overall take on him?
He's a good dude. I always call him, I've been calling him Little Habib. Seems to do the same things Habib does. Goes for the neck, goes for the takedown, goes for that pressure. We'll see if he'll be able to impose his will on me. We'll see. I highly doubt it, though. Stay tuned.
And I mean, you say Lil B. I think it's so funny because I feel like so many guys are like that now, like Khabib too. They have these crazy names that you can't quite pronounce, and they all kind of are doing the same thing as him. It was just when McGregor too was making his rise. It seemed like there was tons of Irish guys too that kind of had that same style too, like James Gallagher, kind of pops in my head. But for you too, I mean, he's on a 9-fight win streak. What do you think you possess that maybe those last 9 opponents didn't have?
Won't be able to touch this dude from a distance that he's never seen before. I'm gonna be able to move in a way he's never seen before. And my timing and precision with my speed is a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah. And what's kind of what was the whole situation in this too? When exactly did you hear kind of about this fight?
I would like to say maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Camp, but I was helping my boy Kama Worthy out with his fight, so I was ready to go. My weight was down, my cardio was up, and I'm sharp as all hell right now. So I've been ready for that short notice.
Yeah, and I mean, just speaking of Bellator too, I think Valerie Loretta recently said too that even though she hadn't fought for a year, when she was helping, it slipped my name now, but her teammate in the UFC, Joanna, I don't know how I forgot her name. But for you too, do you agree with that too? I mean, does it when you're in a camp and helping someone else like Worthy? I mean, does it feel like you're in a camp?
Right. Well, we're a small gym, so if I'm not in there day in and day out helping him out, that's a big part of his fight camp that's out. You know what I mean? So when I'm in there, and when we all got fights, we're working together, we're grinding day in and day out.
Yeah. And how do you feel physically at this point in time?
Strong, so fast, on point.
Yeah. And now, how long have you been able to just kind of get back to almost normal training? Because obviously there was a lot of things with COVID and everything like that. When were you actually able to kind of get back in the gym and kind of get back to your regular routine?
As of late, there hasn't been really normal training per se. Everybody's I'm either helping come out for a fight or I'm getting ready for a short notice, even without knowing that I was gonna fight. My manager stay ready, so I kept the intensity pretty high and it paid out very well.
Yeah. Did you always expect that the Bellator opportunity would come up soon? Was that something you were kind of pushing for?
I knew something big was coming, whether it be Bellator, Dana White's Contender Series, overseas at Brave, something was coming, and it was gonna be big.
Yeah. Well, what kind of gave you that idea?
My manager. He just straight up he laid out all the promotions that he's got my name into, and he told me just stay ready because it might be short notice. So
Yeah,
right, I'm always good for that.
for sure. Was Bellator the only opportunity, or did it come down to maybe like a decision between some other opportunities?
Brave CF has sent over a name, but then they never got back to us. So once Bellator hit us up, we're like, all right, cool. We're going with Bellator 100%.
Yeah. And I feel like this is a question I've been asking a lot of people too. But as far as like the empty arena, do you have any concerns and looking forward to anything about the empty arena?
What I've been seeing so far, it just seems like a sparring session to the max level. There's more at stake, but it is what it is. It's gonna be another fight. That's all.
Yeah.
The only way I'm thinking of it right now is just gonna be another fight.
Were you able to talk to like any of your teammates like about that specifically too? Because obviously like Kama has done that, and I know like Nick Brown's also a Pittsburgh fighter. He fought LFA. They were fighting in South Dakota, empty arena as well.
Right. Now we didn't have too many conversations about that, but for the most part, it just seemed normal. We're fighters. We've been in the game for a long time. Things like no fans. I've been fighting in little tents with like maybe 100 people tops. So I'm good. I'm good with that.
Yeah. And then one of the last things too, and you kind of mentioned at the top of the show that a lot of people are going to start putting kind of Pittsburgh on the map as far as MMA and things like that. And I think after his victory too, Common Worthy called out, well not called out, but just kind of name dropped a bunch of guys that he expects to come up as well. Who are some of those guys that maybe for you that you think are going to stand out in the next maybe year, 2 years from now?
Yeah, man, you got me, Kama, Nick Brown, and you got Kama's little brother, Shaka Worthy. He was supposed to be on this card with me. My boy Jake Schilling. Woof. Yeah, y'all have no idea Frank is getting to the game just yet, but he'll be here soon. My boy Fadi Schumann. We got some killers down in Pittsburgh that are ready to go.
Yeah. And now is this just one exclusive fight with Bellator? Maybe you're hoping for more to come after this?
I'm looking for more to come after this. I'm gonna impress Bellator in a big way. I'm gonna shock the world, and then they're gonna come calling.
Yeah. And it's actually like interesting because I think it was Bellator's first show back. I talked to Jason Jackson. He just felt like when they matched him up with Jordan Maine, that Jordan Maine was kind of that guy that no one really expected Jason Jackson Wayne to go in there. Do you feel that sense at all too, just being the fact that this guy does have that 16-1 record?
150%, and I'm all good with it. This is where I shine the most, when I'm that underdog that nobody expects to win.
Yeah. Is there a time in your career that this reminds you of?
A while back, when I first showed up to Pittsburgh, I fought this dude named Cody Stevens. He had a pretty big name. He, he traveled the world fighting and things like that. And I had like a negative record at the time, and he was coming back from like some injury or something like that, and everybody and their mother thought I was gonna lose that fight, but my fight camp knew what was about to happen, and what happened. I finished him.
For sure. And John, anything you want to say before I let you go?
Everybody who's out here supporting me, I appreciate you. Throw down Tom from Regeneration Pittsburgh, Carly Cunningham, and Matt Burnett with Legacy Medical Centers. I appreciate all of you guys who been backing me down. What's his name? Simon Aries. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about a lot of things here, but yeah. Everybody who's supporting me, I appreciate you, and we're about to rock the world right now. That's what is about to happen Friday night.
Yeah. No, that's nice that you have the little like backup plan. I wish I had that for when I couldn't think of Joanna's name. That comes in handy.
Backup plan's always right here next to me.
There you go. All right, John. Well, hey, I wish you the best come Friday night, and you have a good one.
All right, sounds good, man.